At the time we're making this video, Danish forces are roughly halfway through their 6-month rotation in Latvia as part of the Canadian-led NATO multinational brigade in the country. This means that Swedish forces are hard at work preparing for their upcoming rotation, as troops from that country will replace the Danes. And so one of the latest pieces of news is that Sweden is planning to send self-propelled anti-aircraft gun vehicles to Latvia. Let's take a look at these weapons and remind ourselves of the Danish-Swedish arrangement in the Baltics for today's video. Announced on October 24, 2025, Sweden's Försvarsmakten, its armed forces, announced on social media that next year a Swedish army battalion will arrive in Latvia reinforced with several LV-KV-90 anti-aircraft vehicles. In Swedish, these are known as the Luftvärns Kanonvagn 90. The broad goal of sending these to Latvia for the upcoming rotation? To enhance NATO defensive capabilities against threats along the alliance's eastern flank. Now, if you haven't guessed it already, these LV-KV-90s are variants of the CV-90, or Stridsfordon 90 in Swedish. And so, quickly going over this vehicle/weapon and its capabilities, the Luftvärns Kanonvagn 90 locates, identifies and shoots down enemy aircraft. The vehicle has a top speed of 70 km an hour and can keep up with the unit even during a rapid advance. The speed comes from a 14-litre turbo-diesel engine that generates 550 horsepower. For fire control, there are advanced electronics in the form of a gun computer, radar, infrared night vision system, NAV-90 GPS system, a communications system, and a PFP system for programming fuses. The vehicle has a rotating turret that offers the commander a 360-degree field of view through a prism periscope. In addition to the commander, the crew consists of a gunner, a driver, and 4 operators. According to the Swedish Armed Forces, there's also an LV-KV-90 variant adapted for service in international operations. This includes reinforced floors to protect against mines, splinter protection in the chassis and turret, as well as air conditioning and a turret-mounted machine gun. The vehicle is also available in a variant called the 90TD, which stands for Technology Demonstrator. It features equipment such as an infrared video target tracker and a stabilized aiming system that makes it possible to fire while advancing. When it comes to ammunition, Militär Historia states that the LV-KV-90 is armed with 200 9.5 LK high explosive rounds that can strike air targets at 3,500 meters and stationary air targets, like helicopters, at 4,000 meters. These same rounds can be fired at moving ground targets 2,000 meters away or stationary targets 2,500 meters away. The site adds that the vehicle can be armed with 90 LK tracer light armor-piercing projectiles as well as 7.62mm ammunition. Smoke grenades are also part of typical ammunition. The website Militarny notes that like other CV-90s, the LV-KV-90 has a 40mm Bofors cannon. However, the main difference between these vehicles is the presence of a turret-mounted PS-95 radar station that provides 360-degree airspace monitoring. Additionally, the system's ammunition includes special Bofors 3P shells. Now, generally speaking, the LV-KV isn't exactly the most advanced anti-aircraft weapon out there. Indeed, when it comes to what's available on the market today, the LV-KV-90 has more of a stopgap role between the older Gepards of the Cold War and much more modern short-range air defense or SHORAD systems such as the Oerlikon Skyranger or Oerlikon Skynex. While the cannon is on the older side, the platform's AESA, or Active Electronically Scanned Array radar, is a more modern feature to assist with detection, as opposed to the traditional spinning dish on something like Gepards. The older cannon and its ammunition at least allows for the ability to strike ground targets as well, making it more of a 2-for-1 deal. Logistically, the LV-KV thus has a similar supply chain to other CV-90 variants operated by the Swedish military, and this includes ammunition. And so, to recap, Sweden will be bringing these to Latvia early next year. The country has an arrangement with Denmark to supply a combat battalion to the NATO Forward Land Forces unit in the Baltic nation. Denmark is present for about half a year, while Sweden takes the other half. Unfortunately, there seems to be a little bit of a gap between rotations, since the forces of the two nations used the same camp and accommodations. But what do you think of the LVKV-90 and Sweden sending these to Latvia? Let us know by leaving a comment.